Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morris Man, and as always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. I'm going to entitle this video the follow up. I did a video several days ago entitled Why This Guitar Is Going Back. And like I told you guys, when I get something that doesn't meet my standards or liking, I send it back. I can't sell you nothing that I don't like to play. Just not me. So I purchased the guitar November 26th. And again, the title read Classic Vibes Sonic Blue. So when it got here, it was in very poor condition. The nut needed to be filed down. The action was too high, and I couldn't lower the action from the saddle because it was already down too low. So one of my subscribers or viewers, I appreciate you, Scott. Shout out to Scott. Scott sent me a very interesting, detailed comment regarding that guitar. He said, "You don't have a classic vibe, dude. What you have is a Squier modified Infinity that they tried to pass off as a classic vibe, and because classic vibe didn't even offer that color." So I really appreciate the comment that you left me, Scott, because I cut and pasted everything that you said and sent it to Reverb, and I hadn't heard from Reverb. So I had to escalate it to PayPal, because from the very start of this transaction, the buyer was on some BS, and it was a shady deal. I paid for the guitar because I asked them, and this is the first thing I asked anybody, seller is, how's the action? Is the action low? It's kind of high. Well, thank you. Have a good day. It's low. It feels good. So he told me it was low. It got here, it was high to the point where it wasn't even playable. Because if the action was decent, I still would actually kept the guitar. So action is terrible. So what usually happens is once you purchase something, and I wish eBay and Reverb would stop this, the seller, they print up a label, and that's fine. But when they post it, eBay and Reverb look at this as it's been shipped. No, it hasn't been shipped. I think that they should stop that. And the only time that the seller is allowed to post tracking is when he's already went to the post office or FedEx or UPS. And still, I just printed a label, because usually what the buyer would do is they print the label and the next day they ship it. That's fine. Or the next day, no later than the next day. So here it is, 3 days done passed, and I'm still checking tracking, and it just still shows that only a label been printed. So I emailed the guy, said, I know you printed the label on this day, and I checked back here now 3 days later, and it hasn't been any movement as far as it has been actually physically delivered to the post office or the carrier. So I just want to know when you're going to physically ship it, because I see you printed the label, but you ain't shipped it. He ignored me. I sent him 2 messages. He ignored me. I'm like, okay, so I'm going to have to contact Reverb. So I contacted Reverb, explained to them, and they got back to me and said, okay, we look into it. The very next day, the buyer ships, or I should say the seller ships the guitar. The Reverb had to light a fire under him. And then I would have thought he would have emailed me and said, okay, sorry for the delay. We shipped it. Here's a tracking. No, I haven't yet to hear from him anymore. So the guitar gets here, not playable. Then I found out later through Scott that this is not what I ordered. I paid for a vibe. I got a modified Squier nonsense that's not even playable. So I contacted Reverb, and I actually even cut and paste Scott's comment and sent it to Reverb, and say, hey, this is not what I paid for, dude. So I haven't heard from Reverb in 3 days. And normally they pretty quick. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to escalate this to PayPal, because I was trying to go through Reverb because they usually do a good job of resolving it, but I ain't even heard from them. And now the problem, thanks to the pandemic, they don't have a phone customer service line now. You just got to go through email and hope that they respond. And I'm Guitar Center has one, PayPal now has one again, because for a moment they kind of went off into just live chat. So I'm like, why doesn't Reverb have that? You can do this from home. So it's really an issue that you can't talk to a live person ratting out the reverb, and you're at the mercy of whenever they decide they want to respond. And normally they respond in a timely manner, but for some reason on this specific issue, uh, I haven't heard from them. So I had to contact PayPal, explain to them, and they said, okay, we open up a case. So within I say 20 days, I'm gonna get my money back and send back the item. But the reason or the purpose of this video is to let people know that don't know the recourse you take when you get something off of Reverb or eBay and it's not as described, or they literally trying to rip you off or trying to fool you or think you're stupid. You can get your money back and send them the item back because, and I forgot to mention this. So when I realized the guitar after 5 minutes taking out the box, this can't, it's not even playable. So I went back to Reverb, and they have a menu where you ask for a partial refund or you ask for a full refund. So I opted the very same day, 20 minutes after I got the guitar out the box, I went back to Reverb and say, to the buyer or to the seller that I want to send this back because it's not playable. And that's before I realized, thanks to Scott again, that it's not even what I ordered. So normally the buyer, I keep saying buyer, the seller will go ahead and honor that. And this is the first time this ever happened. Request denied. Oh, really? So he denied it. So I sent him an email, didn't respond. So then I took it to PayPal, opened up a case, so within, like I said, 20 days, just to be resolved, to get my money back, and I send this piece of garbage back. But again, the purpose of this video is to let people know you do have a recourse of a process of getting your money back, because I believe that the seller didn't know that I've been doing this for years, and I know the process of getting this straightened out. They thought that they were just going to stick me with a piece of shit of a guitar and call it a day. Yeah, well, keep thinking, because that ain't going to happen. So again, the purpose of this video is just to let you guys know that whenever you use your PayPal, because I use my PayPal account for transactions like this more than my credit card. Sometimes I'm forced to use my credit card, like with Merry-Go-Round. And let me touch on Merry-Go-Round too. I ordered a guitar from them about 3 weeks ago. It was a piece of junk. The action was high. Couldn't lower it neither. So I called them. He told me to ship it back, and I was going to have to ship it back on my dime, which I was not happy with, because I'm like, you sent me something that was not playable. It's different if you send me something, I'm like, I just don't like it. Even though there's nothing wrong with it, then that wouldn't be a problem. So I was forced to spend $60 to ship it back. And then I got my money back today, and they got this policy, and I don't know why, because to me, I call it stealing, where they don't refund your full refund for the original purchase. They keep your shipping and handling. So I'm like, so I had to pay to ship it back, which I shouldn't have had to, $60. Then you think you're going to keep my original shipping and handling? That's $120 that they think they just going to keep, Because again, I should have not had to pay to ship it back, something that you sent me that wasn't playable. So I'm no longer doing business with them because I don't like their policy, because they literally, basically, technically stole my original shipping and handling. There's absolutely no reason for them to have kept or think they're going to keep my original shipping and handling. So I contacted PayPal, because I use my PayPal MasterCard, and they said, don't worry about it. Once they send you your partial payment, contact us, and then we go after them. And I've had to do this before with, I think, Reverb, when they were selling Music-Go-Round, when they were selling on Reverb, and another buyer or seller on Reverb. And I contacted Reverb, and they forced them to give me my full refund. Because again, I don't care what you put in the policy. You can put whatever, but you can't just go around taking people money. And they just think they're going to steal and keep my money. So what I'm going to end up doing until further notice, because again, with Reverb now, due to the pandemic, you can't talk to anybody, which I don't understand. Because, when it's first hit, a lot of businesses had to make some adjustments temporarily, but they brought those services back. And what most people are doing now is they're allowing some people that can do this to work from home. When you call Guitar Center customer service, you get a live person, they working from home. And my question to Reverb is, why can't you guys work from home? Now we can't call anybody and talk to anybody and hoping and relying on sending an email that we hope that you guys respond to. And like I told you, normally Reverb is pretty fast on responding, but it's been almost 4 days. I haven't heard from them. So I'm like, okay, I had to take it to PayPal. So again, I'm going to sign off now, but for the near future, or until further notice, I'm not buying anything off of Reverb anymore. I'm not buying anything off. Definitely not buying anything off of Merry-Go-Round. I've just severed my ties with them because I don't care for their policy. They just think that they can keep your $60, $70 for no apparent reason. So I'm just going to deal with Guitar Center, because my issue with Guitar Center was the majority of the stuff that comes, a percentage that's too large, is items that not as described, just not working. Just plain nobody checked the play this guitar before they sent it. But at least with Guitar Center, you have a no hassle return. If it shows up and it's not playable, you call them. They send you out a return label. They pay for the shipping, and once they get the item, they give you your full refund. They don't try to steal half of your money. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to just go with them, because at least again with them, I'm assured a no hassle refund if something's wrong with the item. So I can rest assured that if it shows up not working, I can get my money back and they get their item back. And still, you got to open up PayPal cases. The seller is no longer responding. They just going to ignore you and think that it's just going to go away. Because I'm just going to share this, then I'm going to sign off, because this was hilarious. I had ordered to get a chair, a recliner off of eBay. And the chair came. I ordered a green one. I ordered a brown one to match the carpet. When it came, the chair was green. I'm like, what the hell? So I contacted him like, I got a green chair. When I ordered a brown one, send us a picture. And I sent them a picture. What was so funny was I sent them a picture of the chair that they sent me, which was green, should have been brown, next to a brown chair that I had. Because the chair that I had, I was going to get rid of and replace it with the new chair. So it clearly shows that, okay, this is their chair. This chair is green. It should have been brown like that chair. So this is what they told me. We talked to my manager, he said they sent y'all out a brown chair. I just sent you a picture of the green chair that you sent me. So I ended up having to open up a case, and normally you send the item back. I'm like, this chair's too big. I mean, what I'm gonna do? How I'm gonna wrap, haul this big ass thing back to the post office unless somebody come get it. So I opened up a PayPal case, and they ignored PayPal, because what PayPal does is when you call them and open up a case, they immediately send an email to the seller to let them know there's a problem, you need to resolve this. And you get so many days to respond. So they elected to ignore PayPal. They just ignored them. They thought it was going to go away if they just don't acknowledge and just ignore them. And then within 15 days, PayPal ruled in my favor, and they sent me my money back. And they said, you can keep the chair. I'm like, thanks. And it's funny, the same day that the case is closed, then the seller sends emails to PayPal and me. And PayPal's like, it's overdue. We gave you 15 days and you ignored it. This case is closed. We can't open this back up. If you would have responded, you would have got your chair back, So I thought that was hilarious, because I like the process of how PayPal deals with this, especially when you are the buyer and you're being screwed. Because I'm like, they just going to tell me that they sold me a brown chair when I'm looking at a green chair, took a picture of it and sent it to them. It's like, how ridiculous is that? This is what you sent me. You know what model type of chair you sent, and this is what you sent me. And then they elected to ignore everybody, thinking that, oh, well, I got his money. I ain't got to worry about it. I just ignore this. It's going to go away. No, it ain't. So it is what it is. And I appreciate, how PayPal deal with this, because there are a lot of scammers out there. There are a lot of companies out there that don't want to give you what you paid for and what they claim that they were selling. So until next time, take care and thanks for watching.